Americans, we need to talk. Get comfortable with me. Okay, let's chat. Just because a person is English doesn't mean we know about the monarch, the history, the ins and out that is going on behind the palace walls. I'm almost positive that the English people don't even know, other than what is printed in like the morning newspapers or the Sun, or like Heat's a good magazine. That was my magazine for like when I was in college. Loved that. All the juicy gossip. But we're gonna have a conversation right now. I need some pineapple juice. Because being an expat, it's really amazing. I like it, but I've been an expat for a really long time. So I moved to this country when I was 16. And when I was 16, I would say that I was like super Cockney. My mom kind of tried to like knock the Cockney out of me, made me pronounce my words, made me slow down my speech, just because one, so Americans could understand me, and two, so I would sound and be understood. I mean, that's good, mom. So what happened was, living here, I go on autopilot. I have to speak. I have to order things. I have to go to parents' evenings. I have to, go buy cars, go to the grocery store. Like, I have to do everyday things. And these everyday things require me to talk. And when I talk, I don't have an American accent. I'm sure a lot of English people would say I don't have an English accent, but I am English. And it's like two-sided. I've been here for such a long time, but when I went to university, or whenever I would go back home before like the pandemic, and I would go visit family there, I was the American girl. Oh, she's so American. Oh, she talks so American. Oh, I speak how I speak. I am English, and I'm an expat, and I live in America now, and I have a great life here. So if any English person's watching me saying, I don't sound like an English person, I'm an international baby. I've been boomeranged back and forth, back and forth. I think it started when I was 8, and then then I made the move here permanently, I would say since I was 16, and then went back to England so I can go to university and experience that life. So I'm definitely, I would say, like an international baby, although I'm not a baby anymore because she's an adult. But I do want to talk about this. Whenever I go somewhere, as of late, this happens so often when there's a traumatic or a celebration or like some things, some disruption of sorts, whether it's happy or sad or chaotic or glad. There's always something that I feel like expats get, and that's questions. So I will be at the grocery store, and I'm just trying to buy groceries, trying to get my avocados and my peppers and my onions and my whatever it is. And I don't think about sounding different to regular Pennsylvanians. I just don't. I don't surround myself by a lot of like different people on a day-to-day basis, especially living in the climate we're living in. Everyone that knows me is like over it. They're like, oh, it's Sarah. But when I'm like checking out a grocery store, or I am getting my bill at a restaurant, where are you from? What are you from? Whenever there's some kind of an event that goes on at that place in the kingdom that is with the royals we, the expats, have to deal with these consequences. I'm going to tell you the consequences. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you know about this? Have you ever met the Queen? Did you ever have tea with the Queen? Have you ever seen this? Did you ever go riding on horses royally on a... Bitch, I'm from Canvey Island. I'm the most common of the common. Like, you're lucky I'm not speaking to you in rhymes and slangs that I don't even remember anymore because my mum beat it out of me. I don't know. I don't know. So there's this whole thing that's going on. It's a whole thing. And it's with Meghan Markle and and because I'm English, I'm supposed to know. I'm the source. I am supposed to be the source of wealth, information. This makes me laugh because it's not true. I don't know anything about anything. I don't know a lot about Diana and Charles and William and Harry, and I guess William married a commoner. Come on, what? Come on, who? She didn't go to Winter Gardens, my little primary school. Come on, who? It's a lot. So what I'm asking people to do is realize, just because people are British that live in another country doesn't mean we know everything about everything. Now, there may be some people that do know everything about everything. Personally speaking, and speaking up for other English people that might not know everything about this royal family, we're embarrassed over it because we don't know. We don't know. I decided that we do not know it's not a good answer for me, and I don't want to come across as rude, and I don't want to come across as being dumb. That's debatable. I decided to try and educate myself on what is going on, what's going on. So obviously I studied with Oprah, the Oprah interview. I watched the interview, and then I did a little Googling, as she always does, so I could find some other points of views. And I'm going to give you my point of view. This is just mine. Obviously, I'm not speaking for any other expatriate of the United Kingdom. I'm just speaking on mine, and that's it. Okay, let's do this. First of all, a lot of the Americans that are asking me about this, we don't have the Sun or the scandalous type of media that, we have scandalous media, but it's a little bit different than what happens in the UK. The UK media is rough. I would never want to be famous or a royal or anybody of any influence in the UK because they put them through the ringer. So that's the first thing. And then it really came to a head was when Oprah did the interview and it was released, and I didn't watch it because I don't watch a lot of TV. I mean, I really don't watch TV. I didn't think it was important for me to watch it. I did watch it though. And the first thing I want to say is that Prince Harry and Princess Meghan, I don't even know if they are still princesses and princes because they abdicated. That I'm still not sure of. But so we're just going to call them Megs, because he calls her Megs, and I like that, Meg, and Harry. Not once was Harry and Megs disrespectful to the Queen, Her Royal Majesty. They just wasn't. They didn't say anything bad about her. Meghan liked her. Harry completely adores her. What's the problem? What's the problem? Because everything I've read in that I can have, like that I can access in the United States, has been how disrespectful they were. No. Where's the disrespect? What did they say? They didn't say she was mean. They didn't say that she was nasty. They said that she was a loving grandmother. Isn't that what we all want? I've got a loving grandmother. I'd say the exact same thing that Harry and Meg said. She's a sweet, sweet lady that would put a blanket on your knees and share it if you're cold. Same sis, same. My grandma would do that too. Actually, my grandma would throw the blanket at me and say, I'll be cold, just so my babies, just so my granddaughter could be warm. Guaranteed. I would never accept. I'd share and snuggle. But what I'm saying is that I do not believe she said or he said anything disrespectful to the Queen. English people out there, if I am wrong, let me know. I only saw and read what I can access in America, and accessing English publications is a little bit difficult and tricky because there's like blocks on a lot of things. I still can't get Heat magazine over here. I can't get it. So, I mean, who is she without Heat? I felt bad for Meghan because we all know why do we feel bad for Meghan? Why do we feel bad? Because of racism. And we feel bad because it's not right. Like, it's not right. I think that was the part of the interview that really affected me the most. I don't think that they would lie. What would come out of lying about a member of the royal family that they so graciously didn't out? They gracious. If that was me, I'd be all like, that bitch said this, and I would be giving them names, birth dates, social security numbers. I'd be giving it all. I'd be like, this is the bitch that said this, that's worrying about the color of my baby's skin. I don't have anything to say about it other than it's disgusting. Like, it's actually just, this is a precious human. Not a prince, not a this, not a that. Let's strip it all back. Strip the titles, strip it all back. And we're talking about a precious baby that didn't ask for any of this. And before this precious human life has even entered this world, you're worrying about the tone of its skin. I don't think they would lie about that. I don't understand why. I don't believe they would. This is my opinion. I believe them. I believe them. Let's talk about them moving to Canada. Do it. The UK was not kind to me. It just wasn't. I chose to live here. I chose to be here. The UK was not kind to me. I had a really rough childhood. I tried to go back for college. People are mean. People are jealous for no reason. The bullying is absolutely nothing that I've experienced in this country. I remember getting bullied so hard for being a little overweight in the UK as a little child. I remember getting bullied and picked on for having red hair. I remember getting bullied and picked on because I was from a one-parent family. My father raised me when I was in England, and my mom raised me when I was here. But when I was in England, I was from, it was just me, my dad, and my brother, and I remember feeling inadequate. And like, I come here and it's cool. Like, my mom raises me, and it wasn't a big deal. I come here and my red hair isn't an issue. It's something that people, I got a problem with this too. Don't touch people's hair. I'll be walking or like going into before COVID, walking around or going into a restaurant, and going to a bar and people think that it's just okay. I'm just going to touch her hair. Like, it's something that people praise. Whereas in England, it was something that made me so ugly. I get why you would move. It's the press in the UK is awful. I get it. I support that move. The next thing, pulling security. You can't do that. Can you imagine having this beautiful little baby and you are going to pull security on this beautiful, beautiful little baby that has no way of protecting themselves, no voice, all it knows is the warmth and comfort of his mother and his father? Can you imagine what would happen if little Archie was taken and held ransom? What would they have done? Because it would have been your problem, because you would have pulled their protection. And can we get a thank you to Tyler Perry? Thank you. Not for protecting the rich and the famous and the royalty and the not doing it for notoriety, not doing it for anything but protecting people that need protecting, because there are weirdos out there that will do whatever they need to do to access and take, whether it's to take Meghan, whether it's to hurt Harry, whether it's to kidnap this beautiful little baby that has no idea what's going on. Thank you. I believe that them moving to America is one of the most epic things that they could have done. I think that they're going to be the happiest they've ever been. Nothing to do with giving up the crown, or nothing to do with giving up whatever they gave up, or money, or anything like that. Just because America really is a place where you can be whoever you want to be, and there is a spot for you. Now, it's hard for some people to have that spot and to create that safe space and to find that community. But once you've found it, and trust me, there is a community for anybody and everybody in this country. Once you've found that, you're going to be happy. And I dig that for them. I dig that for them. And in order for them to do this, and they didn't even do that. That's the thing. They didn't do that. They said, we're giving you this for peace. They didn't do that. But we're giving you this back so we can have peace. You're going to get it here. So there are some people that are like, well, they're multi-millionaires. What do they have to be worried about? What do they have to be? Like, I don't feel bad for them at all. You can't feel bad for anyone that has it better off than me. You can't. I believe that's called jealousy. And jealousy isn't going to get you anywhere. And it's not helping the people that you're jealous of. Yes, they might have millions, but they still can feel sad, and they can still feel threatened and scared for their child at the time. They're having a little girl, so it's going to be children soon. But they can still feel all the things that commoners like myself and whoever's watching this feels. And I believe 100% wholeheartedly that no parent should ever feel that their child is under threat and potentially could be kidnapped and or harmed. Or as a mother, I wouldn't want the father of my son to potentially be kidnapped and or harmed. And I guarantee, even though as much as I piss Nathan off, and I piss him off on a daily basis, he, as a father, would never want the mother of his child under threat. And I feel like by taking their security away in the middle of a pandemic, was a really shitty move. Like, that was a shitty move. I don't think that we will ever truly know factually. We can all speculate and we will all have our opinions as to why they felt it necessary to leave. What we do have is what is on film, what's on camera, what we can see actually coming from any of the royal members' mouth. And the royal family hasn't really, like, they've released statements, papers, but Meghan and Harry did do this interview. And from what I can gather, it's a lonely place being on top, dealing with racism and not understanding why you're not good enough. Why am I not good enough? I'm doing everything I can. I'm doing everything I need to do. I'm trying my best, but sometimes your best isn't good enough. And I think that living in a situation like that would be super hard, and it would be lonely. It would be so lonely not being able to talk to your friends, or like your ride or dies. Like, you can talk to your friends that live in the castle next door to you, but you can't talk to your ride or dies. Like, that would mess me up. I couldn't do that. And she did do that. She did for a really long time. And mentally, the stress, oh my goodness, the stress. I think that when Archie was born, it made her become a mother. Obviously, Archie's born, she was a mother. But I think it made her get that mother's strength. And that mother's strength was protection, love, and there's a ferociousness that comes out in a mother where it's like a natural instinct where you will jump in front of a bus for your child. You will give up whatever possessions you have to protect the well-being of your child. There are things you would do for your child that you couldn't even imagine doing unless you are a mother. And it's the most amazing thing. And I believe that because she became a mother, she found her voice again, and she found what she needed to find in order to leave and ask her husband to leave. And I really believe that they love one another. And that's why he left with her. And I think that that's beautiful. I think that that's a story of anybody who is jealous, who wants more than what they have, who wants more than what they need, who is a taker and not a giver, who is not grateful. There's something we can all learn from that. This isn't about money. This isn't about status. It's about love, protecting your child so they can grow up in safety and not be persecuted in the press for getting too much of a tan in the summer. I think that there is so much we can learn from this. And I also have one thing to say to the royals, because they're all watching. If you don't want them, we do. And they're gonna live an amazing life here underneath palm trees, in the Californian sun, by the beach. And they might not be English royalty anymore, but you know what? They're gonna be American royalty. They are going to be the new American royalty, and I am here for it. And I support them, and I wish them every bit of success and happiness that they deserve as young parents. Okay, I ended the video and I walked away, and then I remembered something that is so funny, and I guarantee that most people are not going to believe this, but this actually did happen, and hopefully one of the person that experienced this with me will back me up. This is such a funny story, and I can't believe I forgot about it. Royalty. Okay, how old was I? let's say 2020. My mom's going to be so pissed when she meets this, because she's like, when I send you out into the world, you were supposed to be so safe. Mom, I'm safe now and I love you. So I was not the most studious of students growing up, and I kind of sucked at school. I sucked at school. So I had to go to this community college. So I went to this community college and I was like, I just want a degree in whatever I don't have to do math in. Like, I suck at math. Whatever I don't have to do math in, that's the degree I'm choosing. Me and my mom, we both looked through the brochure of all the community colleges around town, and we found you don't have to do math when you take a theater. Like, if you get a theater community degree, an associate's degree. So I was like, sign me up. I hate acting, and I absolutely hate being on stage unless I don't have to talk and I'm dancing. If I'm dancing on stage, I can do it. I can fake it till I make it, baby. But I'm not a good actress. I'm terrible. But the thing is though, I did actually thrive in this degree, and I graduated with amazing grades, the best grades you can graduate with. And I actually never wanted to leave. I loved my professors. I loved the people that were in my college with me. It was the best experience ever. I'd been here since I was 16 and I hadn't gone back home. And I think I was about 20. And this community college was offering a trip to go to England and to do the whole theater thing. And I was like, Mom, I think that I would like to participate and I will go back to England. And I can visit my brother and I can visit my dad and I can just hang around London and everything's going to be cool. My best friend at the time was going, and my mum loved my best friend at the time. We're not mentioning any names because I don't want to get anybody into trouble. We go into London and we're doing what we're doing, and we're doing theatre stuff, and we're doing some shopping, and we're doing some eating. And on the very last day, it wasn't the last day, it was we'd had the day, we'd done what we needed to do with school, and we had the evening off. But the next day we had to fly back to America. So me and my friend were like, well, what are we gonna do? We're gonna party. Because we were 20 and we couldn't drink in the United States. We couldn't drink legally in the United States. But we weren't in the United States. We were in my country, we were in the UK. So we were like, we don't care if we have to arrive in the United States with a toe on ice. We are going to live our best lives tonight. So we decided to go out in London, and I can't remember, we were in some square. I don't remember what square it was. No, it wasn't Coventry Gardens. It was somewhere happening, right? It was somewhere good. It was somewhere to live in. And it was where all the nightclubs were. I'm not going to redo this video, but I will see if I can find out if she remembers where it was. But we were out. We would gone bar hopping, and we were just woo, go back home tomorrow. And all of a sudden this limo pulls up. When I say limo, I actually mean a limo with flags. It had flags on it. And I don't remember what country it was. I could have been Nigerian, somewhere from Africa, somewhere from, I can't remember. I wish I could remember. And they opened up the door, and they were there was a host of people that got out. And they were ladies, could we take you for a drink? Now, me and my friend, being young, dumb honey buns, were hell yes, yes. Take us to wherever we need to go. We had our passes for the week. We could underground it to wherever we needed to get back to our hotel. Not a problem. We're not scared at that age. We go drinking with them. And then they're like, oh, you don't have to get you don't have to get a cab, a taxi, or take the tube anywhere. We will drive you to your hotel. And we were like, oh, being young, dumb honey buns, like, yeah, let's all pile into this limo. So before, and then we go into the limo, and they're like, oh, before we take you back, we need to go and deliver something to our house, but it's on the way. And we were like, oh, totally, yeah. Never do that, ladies. Nothing bad happened to us, but you shouldn't do that because something could have happened. I wouldn't do that now. But this was many years ago. I still wouldn't. If I was 20 years ago, I would have been like, but I was young, and I was stupid. So we were like, yeah, that's fine. So we were in this limo, right? So we're driving through these London streets, and we go to this, like, down this private community. We get to gates. The gates open. We drive in, right? And they're unloading things from the limo. And they're like, oh, do you want to come in? And we were like, where are we? Like, how is this even London property? Like, if anyone knows London, you know that, like, how you got greenery. How do you have greenery and shrubbery and space in London? Yeah, we're coming in. So we went in, and as we go in, there's like double doors. Somebody is there opening up the doors. So me and my friend are like, what, are we gonna die tonight? Like, what's going on? At this time, we did question, like, are we gonna die? We didn't. They were actually really nice. So we go in and we're looking around. This place was like nothing I've ever seen before. And she's seen some places, like some places. And I look at the furniture and I'm like, girl, is that gold? And I literally, my drunk, obnoxious ass sneaks over to the furniture, and I'm looking and I'm trying to pick it. I was drunk and I was young and I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do. So I was picking, and it was real gold. I'm not making this up. This is real gold. All of a sudden, a host of sisters with babies strapped to them. We had sisters, we had aunts, we had this, we all come from out of like one section of the house. Like, I can't explain to you the house. They all came from a different moment. Coming down the stairs, they got these beautiful head wraps on. They got these babies that are strapped to them. And there's me and my friend that are just drunk assholes. And there's me laying on a gold, I want to say love seat, but is it even a bench? It did have embroidered cushion on it, but the rest of it was gold. They gave the things that they needed to give to these women, their sisters, and then we're like, okay, well, we'll take you back to your hotel now. And we were just like, what? Where are we? What's happening? I will say this, they didn't think that I was English. They didn't think I was American. They thought that I was Asian. And that's kind of funny. They just didn't believe me. I was like, yeah, well, I am British, but live in America and not been home for a little bit. They didn't believe that. But they were like so nice. And we, like, to this day, I don't think we ever realized who they were, couldn't tell you who they were, couldn't tell you what they were, couldn't tell you their positions. But I'm telling you this. They were somebody with something to have a property like that in the middle of London. And they probably just wanted to drop us back at our hotel because we were such a problem. We were like, they probably just thought these girls are problematic. Let's just get rid of. I don't think they did, because they were very nice. They were I mean, I would think that I was a problem, but my tolerance is none. But that was, and I remember the next day we were at the we were about to board the plane, and we were so hungover, and I remember we were telling people about what happened, and I don't think people believed us. And I'm not quite sure that anybody would believe us. I don't even know if anybody will believe me now, but can I just tell you, that happened. And it's hilarious. I don't even want to know what we did. I just remember my friend saying to me, Sarah, stop trying to pick the furniture, because I just couldn't believe where we was. Like, what are we doing here? How did we get here? What's going on? We both lived to tell the tale, but yeah, that happened, and that was funny. That was a no pressure Sarah on her worst behavior, being a sassy lassie. Anyway, I gotta go.